What's going on? Welcome back to 100% NUFC. I hope you're all doing really well. So this is the match day review of Burnley 1, Newcastle 0 last night at Turf Moor. And just before I talk about Newcastle, well done to Burnley. Yes, he's got the 3 points just before you slag us off. I'm congratulating you. You took the one opportunity that you got in the second half and you scored. That's why he's in the top 10. That's why he's got a good manager in Sean Dyche. Whether or not he'll stay with us, that's another thing. And that's why he's punching above your weight. And that's why, we need to take harsh lessons from this game yesterday about taking your opportunities. Both teams were poor on the night. Nobody really deserved to get 3 points, but if I have to congratulate you, I will. Anyway, going into the first half, Rafa Benitez made one change. So in came midfielder Mo Diame for the injured Miguel Moreno, who had a back injury. He was really a one to miss yesterday. Mo Diame was partnered alongside John Joe Shelby. So going into the first half, if I'll be honest with you, it was a bit of a drab one. Nobody really created any good opportunities. Newcastle had one in the early stages from a corner. So Matt Ritchie played a 1-2 with John Joe Shelby from a corner, whipped it in. Nobody really made any good contact on the ball. It was a bit of a scrap in the box and it went over the crossbar. And that was one major opportunity that Newcastle had. Burnley had a couple of scuff opportunities in the first half, but didn't really test Rob Elliott, just like we didn't really test Nick Pope for the Burnley goalkeeper. And I just think it was one of those halves to forget, really. Everyone was lacking in the final third for Newcastle. The flick-ons as well from the midfielders to Hoslu to Perez, they were both non-existent. Both didn't look interested. The service wasn't there. Mo Diame was flat as ever. Just like John Joe Shelby, if he doesn't get started, the team doesn't get started. You look at the wingers there. Richie, yes, he was working hard. He was great, but the service just wasn't there going forward. Whether that's a problem with the formation, that remains to be seen. The one up front, Rafa did use two up front towards the end of the game, but I'll explain that later on in this review. And that was it really for the first half. It was 0-0, a bit of a bore draw, which was 0-0. The correct scoreline going into that, really. So going into the second half, you expect Rafa Benitez to kind of G up the players, really, just to go for it. Burnley are at home, they're not exactly doing anything, they're playing for the draw. Us being the away team, why don't we just take it to them? We're doing right in the league, we're in the top 10, we're starting in 8th place, we could go 6th if we win the game, possibly 7th with a draw. And Newcastle were flat again, nothing really happened. We had a couple of opportunities, but they were just fluff opportunities. Burnley had their first real opportunity from a threat, which was a goal by Jeff Hendrick in the 75th minute. So a ball got whipped into the box, parried by Rob Elliott. You should question whether or not you should parry that for a corner, not just parry it into the territory of Burnley. Burnley crossed it back into the box, and then Jeff Hendrick had a free tap in. 1-0 Burnley. Well done, you took your chance. We were defensively poor. There was one mistake, which is cost us. You question Lascelles and Lejeune, they're not picking up their men, they're in no man's land, and Burnley have just got a simple tap in. And after that, Rafa Benitez made a couple of changes. He brought off Mo Diame, who wasn't really doing anything. He brought on Dwight Gale, who's just come back from an injury. And he had a couple of opportunities. Nick Pope had to parry one for a corner, but apart from that, it was quite tame from Newcastle, really. And Burnley had a couple of opportunities, but they weren't really threatening after when they scored. Newcastle, again, had opportunities to try and get the equaliser, but it's just lacked in that final third. But anyway, well done, Burnley. Got the 1-0 win, full time. You just move up to 7th from the league, if I'm not wrong. We moved down a place. And we've just got to move on from this. We've got Bournemouth on Saturday, who aren't exactly pulled up any trees either in the Premiership. A chance to get 3 points. There's no point dwelling on this result now. If we can get a good 3 points against Bournemouth on Saturday, this result can be forgotten. And we've got to be 10 times better than what we were last night. Because if we're not, then Bournemouth will punish us. And we can't be any worse than what we have been against Crystal Palace either. But it's give and take, against Crystal Palace we were fortunate to get the 3 points. Burnley have done exactly what we did in the Crystal Palace game, they nicked it, and that's just what happens, really. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's also a link down below in the description for the matchday experience if you want to go and watch that, and also subscribe to the channel. Let's try and push the channel on to 700 subscribers. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Away the lads, and peace out.